We got another one from my guy Antonio Talks. It looks like he just posted this one maybe about 2 hours ago. So I was like, okay, what's this all about? Apparently, the title reads, "These folks are getting bold." I'm not quite sure what he means by that, but I'm sure we're going to find out what he's talking about. So without wasting any time, make sure you like, sub to the channel, leave your comments. Let's get to this video.
So Black History Month is coming to an end, and I just want to say this. This has been one hell of a month. Like I said, man, in 2025 and 2026, we are seeing such a rise of normalized racism. I finally got my hands on the Malcolm X autobiography. I'm currently halfway through the book, but so many situations that he's talking about and he's bringing up are valid in 2026. Mind you, he's going through these things in the 1940s, the 50s, the 60s, and it still has relevance in 2026. Like, for example, I see this a lot with the raccoons. You know, that's why I call out these anti-black people so much. He stated how a lot of the black people, they'll get good jobs and then they'll just try to assimilate, and they think that white people view them the same way. This is still valid in 2026. Obviously, it's not all white people, but it is a good bit where we can talk about it. Recently, a white woman had these words to say about black people when she thought her mic was muted.
Like they're too dumb to know they're in a bad school. I mean, but apparently Martin Luther King said it. Like, if you train a black person well enough, they'll know to use the back. You don't have to tell them anymore. They just
Allison Friedman, what you're saying is absolutely hearable here. You gotta stop.
So they blurred her face in the Zoom call, but this is the woman that made those remarks. Allison Friedman. Like I said, bro, I appreciate bold racism. It's better to know that you don't like me. You know, I don't like this hidden dog whistle type of racism. Like, say that shit with your chest. First off, I want to point out, she's talking about somebody too dumb. You the dumb one, you forgot to mute your mic. But she was saying, if you train them long enough, they'll begin to go to the back or something like that, right? But this is just symbolic of what I see in society nowadays. We got all these black people giving out N-word passes. We got black people saying, I'm black and I didn't find it offensive. We got all these, it's not that deep. Constantly training you to.
Well, I ain't gonna lie. A lot of times I be seeing people on the internet, they be calling, you know, Caucasians the N-word, you know what I'm saying? And I know it's just, you know, by design, you're just wired to say that, to call everybody that, but you probably shouldn't be calling them that. Use the MF word, call them an MF or something. Don't call them an N, because the N word, because by doing this, it only will, you know, essentially make people feel like it's okay to just say it casually, everybody. And nah. And I know it's just a word, but that word has been synonymous with a very troubled and terrifying past, at least for people, my ancestors, you know what I'm saying? So it's best that, yeah, if we're going to use the word, you know, we use it as a term of endearment. We've heard that from the likes of Jay-Z. He said that we turned it into a term of endearment. We took the power out of the word. He did say that on Oprah's show one time. I seen that years ago. And yeah.
Take disrespect and take racism. And just like Malcolm X stated, a lot of these people will never, you know, see us in the same light as them. They'll always look down on us.
The video of that white professor talking about black people is exactly how white people are when there aren't people of color around. If you haven't seen it, this white woman could be heard in the middle of a Zoom meeting interrupting because her mic was not muted. She said things like, these kids are too dumb to know that they're in a bad school, or that's how it is with black people. You teach them to sit at the back of the bus. Eventually, I guess they fall in line. Basically saying that if you can break down black people's confidence enough, they won't even try to fight back. While she has since come out.
And I don't know if y'all watched the remake of the show Bel Air. That is embodied perfectly in that show. Carlton, the character in that show, he's around all of these white people. He's assimilated. So it's a scene where in the locker room, Carlton's around all his white friends and they're listening to Bobby Shmurda, right? And the white dudes are all saying the N-word. Will busts in like, what the fuck? What y'all on, right? He's mad, like rightfully so. Carlton is just like, bro, chill, it's not that deep. Something that we see in today's society. But I also look at it in the other lens as well. Carlton was one of the only black people in that school. When he first joined, he probably was fighting all day, telling people to stop. But over time, you get tired of fighting. We've been talking about it forever and shit just still, you know? But you have to keep, you know what I'm saying? You got to continue to buck at it. no matter what.
Out saying, oh, I was actually trying to explain systemic racism to my child,
Nah.
I know for a fact that this is not true. And the reason is, like I said at the start of the video, this is how white people talk about black people or brown people when it's just white people, when they're in the comfort of their own homes. I have literally heard it. It is a very consistent pattern among white people. Also, if you were explaining systemic racism to your child, you would not use it that way. You would not explain it in those terms. You would focus on an empathetic approach about how society tries to break down black individuals. But the way she said it was definitely not that way. Let me know what you think, and you should go watch the video yourself.
And I want to show love to this young lady. She uses her platform as a perfect example to call out racism and to call out the things that she see in her, own life. And whether you realize it or not, man, a lot of white people, y'all do have a privilege. More people will listen to y'all talk about things than they will listen to it from us. Society worldwide has always taught that white is good, black is bad. So if they hear something coming from, a white brother, they're going to hear you out more. So if you are white and you do want to make a change, bruh, speak out sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Do your research, talk out about it. You might make some of your friends mad, but fuck them niggas.
A fan yells us.
You see what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like even Antonio, he didn't catch himself, but when he says they're friends, he knows what friends he's referring to, but he just called them the N-word. See, that's what we got to stop doing. You know what I mean? But kind of getting to his point where he was just saying about, them being privileged. So, yeah, I've said this before. We are living in a system, at least us black people are living in a system that we had very little say-so in. We didn't have any say-so in how the money was to look. We didn't have any say-so as far as like where we're to live, what part of this country is going to be ours, what part will be yours. We didn't have any say in any of this. And so fast forward to 2026, however many centuries, 250, however many years it's been, 400 years that, we've been the second fiddle in this country. It's the same stuff. You know what I mean? We don't have anything that is exclusive to us that we could say, we got our own economy. You know what I mean? We have money that has people like us on it. That's why I kind of trip out when I see people making money phones and stuff like that. And I know they don't think that deep into it, but you know what I mean? Like if you had the opportunity to actually meet these individuals that was on this money, your Abraham Lincolns, Benjamin Franklins, George Washington, Andrew Jackson, and the other one that's on the $50 bill, I don't know. Y'all tell me in the comments who it is. I forgot. But if you was to meet these people in person, would they be so open to want to have a conversation with you? I know some people, it ain't that big of a deal. It's just money. It is that big of a deal. You have to think about what that does to your psychology. You know what I mean? You really got to, all this stuff has been mapped out and perfectly executed. You know what I mean?
Slur as a black student takes a free throw at a high school basketball game. Take a listen.
See if the referee talking to him got in his head. Lefty shoots, and he bricks.
That's sad, bro. Like, this is, it's really dumb. Like I said, I have tough skin. I have really tough skin because, like I said, I've been dealing with this shit since I was 10, 11 playing a game. So I kind of got numb to the N-word. I've always had my rebuttals, though. I always would get on a nigga if they called me that shit. But as a non-black person, you don't understand how demoralizing it is. Like, there's a stigma that words, don't break you. But it do to some people. Okay? Like, it does.
This was Goodrich versus Kearsley in Michigan. I think I'm saying that in high school right, but it happened a couple of days ago in Michigan, and the person who yelled the slur has been identified as a Goodrich student. Now, kudos to officials that were there, school officials from both sides. They immediately paused the game. They cleared the student section because the person who yelled it would not come forward. So they cleared the student section and was able to identify the student who yelled this during the game. Now, school officials say that that student has been disciplined, but they
what do they
not
mean by discipline, though?
On the extent
Suspension
of that punishment.
Yeah. So another situation we're going to talk about is this whole subway queen incident.
She was on the subway when an altercation sparked between her and a few black women. Apparently the black women were defending some guy that she was sitting next to, where she wouldn't move, or she buzzed her. I don't know the exact details, and it seems like no one does. The black women yelling at her, calling her a lot of names. And when the woman leaves the subway station and the doors are about to close on her and the black women are still yelling insults to her, she says the N-word hard R and then leaves as the doors close. Now this sparked a whole dialogue on if she was valid for saying the N-word since the black women were yelling at her and calling her names.
So after the incident, the girl...
I'm telling you, man, that N-word is like the fatality. You know what I'm saying? That's like the Kamehameha. Like, oh, all I got to do is hit you with the N-word with the hard R in the end, and that just kills the whole whatever. You know what I mean?
Ended up getting on camera and doing videos. Look at these comments. As a black woman, you had every right to call those hood rats that word. Hail to the subway queen. Whole time they're going to click on this page and it's not even a, this is not a black woman. This is not a black woman. This is not, yeah, they be lying. They be lying. And this is the thing, y'all. I love a friendly roast session, okay? It's nothing wrong with that. But what you realize is that a lot of these white people, they don't know how to roast without being racist. Insults are roasting to them. When it's like, come on, bro, that's lazy. And y'all, crazy thing is, man, look at this. She had a black boyfriend, or she was, you know, bouncing on Black Diggy Lane. And we see this all the time. We'll see white women try to use the excuse of, oh, I talk to black dudes for them not being racist when they don't mean shit. Just because you talk to a black person don't mean you're not racist. But yeah, man, that's crazy. And as a whole, I am so proud of the way that black people handled the BAFTA situation. I want to state this, bro. We all understand that the man has Tourette's. He has a disability. But with that being the case, he should have apologized immediately. No matter if he did it on accident or not, he hurt people. I remember this one time I was...
But isn't it a coincidence that at an event like this, somebody who has that condition would even be in attendance? Not saying that he shouldn't be allowed to be there, but if you know that he does things like that, and then coincidentally he says that word in particular, you know what I mean? Like, really? Anyway.
Pushing this cart in the store, and I had my twins with me, and I still feel bad about doing this to this day, right? But I'm pushing the cart. My sons, they doing all type of dumb stuff, touching on everything. Boom, I hit a lady in the back of her heels. Oh my... Y'all know how that shit hurt. That shit hurt like crazy. It was an older white woman. When I tell you I felt so bad, I immediately, oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I was like, bro, like I hit her hard. I was like, ma'am, do you need anything? Do you need me to carry your groceries to the car? Like, I apologize. I felt so bad. She was like, no, and told me that she understood, right? And I just went on about my day. And just like I say, looking back, I still feel horrible about that situation. I brought that example up to say this. Even though I didn't mean to hit that lady with my cart, I still apologized and took full-on responsibility. And what you got to understand is y'all have to stop telling black people how to feel about taking disrespect. We are the most disrespected group of people in the entire world. And I'm gonna give you some more information. At those BAFTA awards, they cut out Free Palestine and they cut out homophobic slurs. But they left in the N-word because they don't fucking respect us. And that shit has to end. I love how black people coming behind this situation. A lot of us are no longer tolerating disrespect. No homo. Like I said, bro, I am very comfortable with my sexuality. This young man is very handsome. Probably one of the most handsome men that I've ever came across.
That's funny.
I'm gonna let him finish talking though.
Yeah, let him rock, man.
The abuse and the excuses that come behind this shit. What you will notice is that black people always have to be the bigger person. We always have to be understanding. We always gotta have nuance to things. No, fuck that. And I promise you, bro, we have to keep applying this pressure to every situation. When them folks disrespect the Jews, man, they get, you know what I'm saying? Business gets handled. That's how we have to be the same way, bro. Like, people have to stop disrespecting us, dog. He's speaking facts, but I want to talk about a specific comment I came across, man. Look. So, look, y'all, this Sergio dude, he commented on the video, and he put basically he's trying to be racist. This is Sergio, y'all, a Mexican with F Ice in his bio. Someone said, you're doing all of this while saying F Ice is crazy. So, you being racist to one group while trying to fight racism from another group is the most idiotic thing I've seen. And then they dropped a picture of this, which is facts. That's the end of this video though, man. I hope y'all enjoyed. All my black people, it's always that deep. Stop taking disrespect any form. Don't let these people make jokes around you. Don't let them think you one of the good ones. And stand on business, because every other group does it. No more talking though. If y'all want to see something similar to this, go check out White Supremacy Having a Problem. So Black History Month.
Shout outs to bro. You know what I'm saying? You know, keep your foot on their necks. You know, those people that want to keep it going. But I'll say this in closing, and I said this too. I want to say my mom, my cousin, I was like, you know what? I'll be so glad the day when God cracks open the sky and he comes down here and he's like, what the fuck is going on down here? Who's responsible for all this? Who's the one that put a price on the stuff that I made plentiful for y'all to eat? I'm telling you, that day, the whole snitch policy is out the goddamn window. I don't care what you got to say. I will be snitching. I will be singing like a canary. Them over there, they're the ones responsible. They're the reason why this is the way that it is. And I will grab my popcorn and my Coke, and I will watch that. I will watch that play out, because it's going to be a lot of belt to ass. You know what I'm saying? When that day comes, I hope that something like that happens, because, yeah, children are down here fucking up big time. You know what I'm saying? And they need an ass whooping, for real, for real. But y'all let me know down in the comments, what y'all think about this whole situation, with that lady saying what she said, and just, your experience, being black. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure a lot of us share in the same sentiments and stuff like that. I have been called the N-word while working at Teleperformance. I was doing direct TV. I was taking care of I was on the technical support side, and dude called in. He was on HOTS. You know what I'm saying? Called me the N-word right at the end, and I cut off his direct TV service. I cut all his boxes off right there after he did that, and they didn't even catch me doing that. You know what I'm saying? And I would have loved for them to have checked me on it. I'd have been like, "You heard what he called me?" You know what I'm saying? Because I definitely would have took that to the news. But I didn't get in trouble for that. I don't even think they pulled that call. But yeah, I definitely cut his shit off after calling me that. And I'm sure he called back complaining again. Like, you forgot, I got the power. I can cut your shit off right now. You know what I'm saying? That felt good. That really felt good. But anyway, y'all get down in the comments. Y'all let me know. I'll be sure to link this video in the description in case y'all want to go check out my boy's channel. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all support Antonio, man. You're keeping that conversation going. If you made it this far into the video, like I always be saying to y'all, I appreciate you, because I put a lot into these videos. You know what I'm saying? That's 4 in a row. You know what I'm saying? I went in late for y'all. I'm going in late. You know what I'm saying? Make sure I get these videos out. So make sure you support. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, like, sub to the channel. It's your boy Robbie. And until the next video, I'm out.